How you doing, man? Good morning, Marcus Conti reporting. What a day! What a day! What a day! What is today? Today's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Tuesday, and the month is October. October 25, the year 2022. A couple of days away, less than 2 weeks away from the big midterm elections, where the dirty Democrats will face off against the only other party, the dirty Republicans, and try to pick leaders of our great nation. Who's gonna they pick? The people allegedly pick, but who's paying them? Right? They both work for the same people. Working for the same people. So today in news we have another shooting. Another shooting. It's not that different and/or spectacular. We already got Cedento in the chat, speculating that it might be a continuation of the MK. What is it? MK Ultra, the MK Ultra experiments from the 1950s. Remember those? Where they would douse people with psychoactive medications and torture them and try to get them to behave in a certain way. Is that what we're seeing with these shootings? This particular shooting, two dead, a lot of traumatized kids running away from the bullets. The shooter's dead too. That makes three dead. And 19 years old. He was a former student at the school. Now, you could say, well, it would be nice to see the kid's psychotropic profile, meaning what drugs was he on? What was he taking to get him into a frenzy to want to kill his classmates? Right, that is a possibility, but we don't know that for sure. Instead, they're already pointing to say mental illness. Oh yeah, he had mental illness. And so that's why he went back to the school I believe he attended and shot the place up. Got to the third floor with a long gun. Six security guards, unarmed security guards in the school. And the best they can do was listen for the shots and then dial 911 like everybody else and call for the police. What kind of fucking security are you? What kind of security are you offering kids if all you can do is call the police? Right? That's stupid. Why don't you arm the goddamn security officers in these schools? They are a target. They are a target. So we'll look at that story. Joe Biden, Gaff King. The Gaff King prior to the midterm elections, he's down at the DNC rattling off ridiculous, incoherent nonsense. We'll look at some of that. I don't want to bore you too much. It's hard to watch. And Kanye West, Ye, I guess his name is Ye, Ye. Kanye West got dropped from Adidas for his alleged anti-Semitic remarks. Still doesn't make sense to this reporter's, in my view, I don't really see it. What did he say? Oh, I'm gonna go ballistic on the Jews, and that guy over there, you see P Diddy, he's controlled by the Jews. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say people are controlled by the Democrats. People are controlled by big business. People are controlled by big pharma, big oil. So why not the Jews? What's so fucking offensive about that? I don't see it. I don't see it. It's not like he's attacking one specific Jew per se. So it's not defamation to anybody, right? I mean, he has Ye West arguably has Kanye has a huge audience. A lot of people know who he is. So if he were to attack a private citizen, for example, a little lonely Jew off in the corner, well, that might be problematic. But to make a broad stroke attack of Jews or blacks or whites or Mexicans or whatever fuck, right? That's free speech in America. Even even if you disagree with it, even if it offends you, it's still free speech. Unless, of course, you're working at a hospital, you work at a hospital, and some reporter comes along, and the security guard, happen to be black, and the reporter's white, and you say, "Get your white privilege out of here," eh? And that's fucked up. We have laws to prevent that from happening. Discriminatory laws are written to prevent discrimination in places of accommodation and in the workplace and in places of housing and such. But Kanye West is just taking a little hit for having a big mouth, and that's not cool. I don't think he really needs. He's prepared to buy Parler for $54 million. Why does he need? He doesn't need no fucking Adidas anymore. He don't need Adidas. And what does Adidas do for him anyway? They sell 200. They sell sneakers that cost between $200 and $300 a pair. I've never, ever, ever spent $300 on a pair of shoes. I've never spent more than I don't know, maybe $100 once or twice on a good pair of Doc Marten boots. But sneakers, never more than $50. But Kanye's got, he's selling them shits to, out there, $200, $300. And we'll look at the shooting. Also, big week on Wall Street. This is Q3 reporting the third quarter earnings are rolling in. So that represents the, basically the time frame 3 months prior to this. And we've already begun. We're already in Q4. We'll get that report in January. And we'll see, big tech, Apple, Google, Facebook, Twitter, the rest of them, all the big tech companies will be reporting this week. So it's do or die for the big tech companies. Let's see if they can get out of it, man. Let's see if they can cheat their way out of it. Good morning, everybody in chat. Vinny D. Martini on the wrench, motherfucker. Thank you. To Be Sovereign is also here. And Cheeseburger. Mad Cow Mark is here. I think I saw Jim Gerard is here as well. Weevil Girl. James Lopez. Sidento. Thank you, everybody, for joining me and the other people that are lurking. This is my thumbnail today. We got to figure out why. Why? I put the question mark up. It was question mark. It was grading image. No, it's not that one. It's this one. Yeah. So yeah. Why? We have to ask, why does someone walk into a school of education where young kids, this is a high school, and with a long gun, and kick the door down and squeeze through security, elude 6 security officers, whoop-de-doo, and start shooting, screaming in the window, "You're all gonna fucking die," is what he said. Right? As he shoots the teacher dead, blasts another young girl dead, and starts to unload the gun on everybody else as they run away. And before the police ultimately get there 3.5 minutes later and shoot him dead. Right? So, look, the story is the teacher, right? The kid comes into the classroom and the teacher sees the kid with the gun saying, "I'm going to kill all you motherfuckers," and steps in front of the kid with the gun. And the kid with the gun shoots her dead. Now, wouldn't it have been a better scenario if the teacher would have been armed and had the gun out, and the kid comes through the door with the gun? You say, "Drop the gun." He raises his gun and you kill him. You already got your gun pointing at his face. It just doesn't make sense why people, I don't know. I don't know. Too many guns, then you say? Everybody has a gun. Everybody needs to walk around with a gun. Well, not everybody, but if you're a target, if you're how many school shootings do we have to see? How many cowards are going to continue to go into schools and kill kids for whatever reason? Whether they're strung out on some kind of torture regimen or medication, which I don't dispute that could be happening. I don't think it's any particular program per se, but I would think that the medications that a lot of kids are being pumped with are very, very, very sophisticated. And sadly, mind control is, the essence of Ritalin and Adderall and all those meds that Big Pharma pumps into kids are designed to manipulate the child's psyche. That's what they're for. They're psychiatric, psychotropic medications to calm the child down, right? Even if he's dribbling on himself, right? Anyway, man. Vinny is. Let's not ban anybody. If nobody's being a bad guy right now, let's let everybody speak. Just as a rule in this chat, if you get shut down, you did something fucked up, right? So just don't be a dick. Be polite, and everybody gets to speak. But if you're a dick, you're stepping on the toes of your fellows, and they and I will retaliate. By blocking your ass. So let's not go there. Right? We're gonna be nice. Right? My name is Marcus Conti. I have a website, and we're broadcasting right now live here on DLive. I'm sorry, YouTube. Oh my God. We're on YouTube. We love YouTube, and we hope YouTube lasts forever. We hope that Google puts out some really good numbers so that they make more money and their stock price continues to go up. But if YouTube has to succumb to the censorship, if big government sticks their foot back up YouTube's ass and kicks people off like me, we'll be over here at DLive, still broadcasting live every day. You just come to the website, marcusconti.com, and I'll tell you where we are. You're probably watching, if you're watching later than 9 a.m. Eastern Standard U.S. time, you're probably watching on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter, Getter, Truth Social, and wherever else social media, wherever else you consume that thing called social media. So let's look. So here we go, man. Adidas drops Kanye West after his anti-Semitic outbursts. All right, let's read. Adidas severed ties with Kanye West on Tuesday after facing mounting pressure to do so in the wake of rapper's bizarre anti-Semitic outbursts and public meltdowns. Now, fuck you, mounting pressure. What exactly does that mean? Mounting pressure? What is it? When government tells Facebook, Twitter, and Google to silence anybody who they perceive as counter to the narrative? Is that pressure? Is that the pressure you're succumbing to? Grow some testicles and stand up for yourself, which I believe Kanye West is doing, but certainly not Adidas. So the apparel brand, who announced last week their 10-year relationship with West was under review, said that it does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any sort of hate speech. Now, that's what they said, and for some reason, I just couldn't find any hate speech whatsoever. What he said was, quote, Kanye West said was, I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going to DEFCON 3. I'm going DEFCON 3 on the Jewish people. All right. In poor taste. Anti-Semitic? Nah. West wrote on October 9 tweet. He also said he since deleted a screenshot of his friend Sean Combs, P. Diddy, being controlled by Jews. Now, as far as I could see, that's the extent of Mr. West's Jew rant. Right? Here's the shoes, by the way. $300. $300 shoe. Adidas. Yeezy. fucking Yeezy shoes. And why does he have paint all over himself, Mr. Kanye? Mr. Kanye is a very, very wealthy man. I highly doubt that Kanye West is painting his own house. Unless he's doing some kind of high art, I would say that that is fake paint, right? Or bleach or something. People lining up to get some of those shoes, man, before I guarantee that you would definitely believe that they would become collector's items. Get yourself some of these, man. You buy them for $200, $250 or $300, and you sell them for $6, right? Buy one in every size, and you'll double your money. Right? So poor Kanye West. Fuck you very much, Adidas, for judging a rapper. How many times does he talk about hating fucking the nigga and the white man and the nigga and the blah, 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 and right in his songs? The guy's a rapper. The guy's a hostile. He's not hostile, but the music is, in my view. We could talk about that. We could talk about white hate, white privilege. We could talk about bashing other blacks. Right? I shot that nigga. Right? You could say all that, but the Jew. Oh, the Jew is so sacred. Come on, man. How many Jews are offended by what Kanye West said? That's really the question. Ask the Jew. Are you offended by some ignorant black rapper motherfucker saying, I'm going to go DEF CON on the Jew? Not really. You just laugh at him. You say, what an ignorant son of a bitch, right? But nonetheless, he's losing his ties with the very, very influential Adidas clothing line. What's this? Models present creations during a Kanye Adidas fashion collaboration. Now, Kanye also did the shirt, you remember a little short while ago, White Lives Matter. Right? He was going to bat for the white guy. Black Kanye West, White Lives Matter, which he took shit from the blacks. Is that also anti-black? Is that anti-white? Is it pro-white? Is it pro-black? It doesn't matter. What matters is it's America, and you're allowed to speak openly, even if you make a jackass out of yourself. So that's that story. Let's listen to Biden. I'll just get the largest of the gaffes. Here's Joe Biden reading from the teleprompter. He's down there at the DNC in Florida. Senile as all hell, man. He almost looks like he's wobbling. Watch the gaffes. Watch.
Anything having to do with the polls. I just pay attention to what's happening on the phone, and we're knocking on doors. I'm here to deliver what I believe is a closing argument about what we need to do in the next 15 days to make a victory assured.
Okay, Joe.
And make it clear that this election is a referendum. It's not a referendum, I should say. It's a choice.
That's one gaffe. Let's continue.
Everybody wants to make it a referendum, but it's a choice between two vastly different visions for America, significantly different. Democrats are building a better America for everyone, with an economy that grows from the bottom up and the middle out, where everyone does well. Republicans are doubling down on their MAGA trickle-down economics.
He's just talking nonsense. He's reading he's there, and he doesn't have a authentic bone in his body. This old man doesn't have an authentic bone in his body. Right? Reading off the teleprompter, the left is wonderful and the right is horrible, and that could be true, but really? Is anything that he's saying factual? No.
That benefits the very wealthy, failed the country before, and will fail it again if they win. Democrats are lowering your everyday costs like prescription drugs, health care premiums, energy bills, and gas prices.
Not true. Everything under the Democratic watch has gone up. Inflation started on the Democrats' watch, arguably. Now, you could say during the pandemic, whoever, the both parties authorized the stimulus that jacked, an extra $2 trillion into the economy, causing inflation. But Biden isn't honest and or even insightful enough to realize that. Now here comes the big gaffe. Watch.
Folks, Republicans have made it clear, at least they're being honest around this time. They're telling you exactly what they want to do if they win. They're going to increase everyday cost. Democrats are making sure the biggest corporations begin to pay not their fair share, but at least a bigger share than they've been paying. 15% is not a fair share, but it's a bigger share.
It used to be 30%. It used to be 28%. You jack off. Why is it 15? It should be back to 28.
Republicans will allow some of the biggest corporations to go back to paying zero in federal taxes after having made $40 billion, leaving the burden to teachers, nurses, firefighters.
All right. So what did he just say? He didn't say anything. Listen again.
Their fair share, but at least a bigger share than they've been paying. 15% is not a fair share, but it's a bigger share.
He says after they should pay tax after making $40 billion. What? Who made $40 billion? Joe Biden. What are you talking about? You can't even read anymore.
Republicans will allow some of the biggest corporations to go back to paying zero in federal taxes after having made $40 billion.
40 after all the corporations combined made $40 billion. There's companies like Apple, Google, and Facebook, and Twitter, and General Motors, and Exxon, and Raytheon, and each of these companies make $40 billion individually. So what exactly are you talking about, Joe? It doesn't make sense.
Republicans will allow some of the biggest corporations to go back to paying zero in federal taxes after having made $40 billion, leaving the burden to teachers, nurses, firefighters, working folks to pay.
This guy's an idiot. Right? So I don't want to talk about him anymore. That's the end of Joe. So I think that I don't know. It's hard to say right now because of the incredible margins of manipulation and what used to be called rigging and cheating, and now we call it outwitting the other party. There's so much of that going on between Democrats and Republicans that it's really quite hard to call who's going to win control of the House and control of the Senate. We know that obviously the executive branch will be in place. Joe Biden's got 2 more years. But who's gonna control House and Senate? Big deal. If the Republicans control both chambers, it's very likely that the markets will roar back, hit new highs. That appears to be rather true. But look at this study. So you remember back in the day when we were trying to figure out who started the COVID-19 pandemic? Where did the virus come from? Who invented the virus? Was it natural, or did it start in a lab in Wuhan? Was it the Wuhan lab? Was it some other lab? Somewhere, just a few days ago, we talked about a story that chain of function research is going on at most universities in America, where they, in fact, have spliced together a COVID variant with some other variant, Omicron, and created a virus that has an 80% kill rate. Doing it out in the open, right? So we know that, and we've also known since the beginning of the pandemic, that the likelihood of the SARS and the COVID and the SARS marriage inside of this virus. This virus is a hybrid of 2 separate things. We've known it from the beginning, but we're not allowed to say it, that it was manufactured, that it could not have happened naturally. We've already fucking known this from the beginning, but we're not allowed to say it. Fauci knew it. They all knew it, right? Stop making killer viruses. Yeah, but it's research, Conti. You don't understand. This is what we do. We put on our white lab coats and we splice and we make and we sell. So now now less than 1 in 100 million chance that COVID has a natural origin, says a new study. A new study. 1 in 100 million chance that COVID occurred naturally. It would have taken, 80,000 years for those two viruses to somehow come together, causing a deadly, a killer virus, right? So, I mean, it is inescapable that the COVID pandemic, it wasn't necessarily intentional, but it was created by a bunch of unconscious humans that allowed it to leak out of a lab. Right? That seems to be inescapable. And here's more evidence. A new study on the origins of the pandemic, endonucleus fingerprint, indicates a synthetic origin of SARS-CoV-2. Right? That's the marriage of the two viruses. Published on the preprint server by Rex, I don't know where that is, concludes that it is highly likely that the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID-19 originated in a laboratory. The odds of a natural origin, according to the study, are placed at less than 1 in 100 million. Now, that's a lot of zeros, boy. That's 1 and 12 zeros. A lot, big fucking number, man. Unlikely, right? You've got way better chance of getting struck by lightning. You've got way better chance than falling into the center of a volcano. You've got a better chance of getting hit by an airplane when you're 70 feet underwater. It's not going to happen, man. It doesn't happen. So unlike previous studies that analyze qualitative aspects such as virus features, the new study for the first time assesses the likelihood of a laboratory origin on a quantitative basis. This breakthrough methodology allows the authors to present objective findings that appear to exceed any previous studies. Ooh, look, science thinking outside of the box again, not depending, hold on a second. Not depending on all of the scientists that came before them, but actually doing real science, real inductive reasoning based on what they're seeing and feeling and smelling and tasting and experimenting with. So can't make it up. Significantly, the new study does not rely on any of the known evidence pointing towards a lab origin of SARS. So, groundbreaking study. So there you go, man. More evidence. 1 in 100 million chance that COVID started naturally. So what does that do? It rules out the bat fucking cave. Right? It started in a wet bat lab. No, in a wet bat market. A market where they sell bats to eat. Stupid. Stupid. Somebody cut the thing together. Did the Chinese do it? Maybe. Did the Russians do it? Maybe. Did the U.S. do it? Probably. Did the Israelis do it? Very likely. Did the Palestinians do it? Pakistan do it? It's possible. Did India do it? Everybody. North Korea. Somebody in some virology lab somewhere in the world cut it together. Stop doing it. And then stop forcing the vaccine on people to prevent the virus that you made. Now, what is the liability? Just think for a second. Who is liable for this, right? If we're a nation of law, Trump says the Chinese did it, they owe us $10 trillion. But what if the United States did it? What if it turns out that it happened in a military lab in the United States? We find out, conclusively. Who, and all of the deaths. Oh, so many people were dead from the COVID, right? Who's going to pay for it? Who pays for the dead COVID people? Somebody's responsible. Who is responsible for it? The people that cut the fucker together. SARS and COVID too. Period. That's who's responsible. So this is another shooting. It's nice out today, 61 degrees. A little cloudy, a little overcast, but the leaves are beautiful. Oh my God, so beautiful. Beautiful color spectrum of leaves. Yeah. So school gunman delivered chilling message before shooting 2 dead, injuring 7 in St. Louis high school shooting. So over there in the good state of Missouri, a young man walks into a school and shoots some people. Let's try to figure it out, man. We got the question mark up. Why? Why? Let's read. A gunman shouting, "You're all gonna effing die," opened fire at a St. Louis, Missouri high school. Ooh, right in the city of St. Louis. Monday, killing a student and a teacher and wounding 7 others before being shot dead by cops, according to reports. The male suspect, later identified, so just to get the death toll right, he killed a student, he shot the teacher, wounded 7, and then the cops shot him. So 3 dead, 7 injured. The male suspect, later identified by police as 19-year-old Orlando Harris, entered the Central Visual and Performing Arts High School at 9 a.m. through a locked door with a long gun and began his bloody massacre, officials said at a Monday afternoon news conference. Now, I don't want to dive too much into conspiratorial, phenomena here, but there's a couple of striking details that, I don't know, caught my eye when I read it, and you'll see when I get to it. 9/11, the number 9/11 comes up in this report. He shoots the teacher first. She fell to the floor. This is a kid reporting. Another boy got shot in the hand, and he was bleeding. 2 other girls got shot, says a student. Teen student Alexia Bell, 15, was pronounced dead at the scene, and the adult victim, identified as physical education teacher Jean Kokzaka, 61, died at the hospital. So here's the girl, 15 years old, strutting her stuff. She's dead. And where's the kid? There's the teacher. Poor teacher, 61 years old. Right? Fucking crazy shit, right? Now, I will point out that the school appears to be a primarily black school, and the teacher happened to be white. But why did he shoot homegirl, 15 years old, man? Right? It's fucking sick. When the gunman entered the classroom, she stood in front of the shooter to yield her students, her daughter was reportedly told by authorities. Now, that's a very noble thing to do, because why? Because you don't have a gun. Wouldn't it have been better to stand in front of your students with a gun pointing at the shooter's face? Screaming, "Kids, get down," boom, 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 and blast the motherfucker. Look, if I were a teacher, man, packing right here. Packing, right? But why? Why? Why do we have to live like this? Why is there why are psychopaths? And again, it's not everywhere, but there's a lot of these instances, Columbine, and fucking so many instances of shooters, right? Shooters going into schools, cowards. I bet if the teacher was packing a gun, right, and all the other teachers were packing a gun, and the 6 jack-off security guards had their guns with them, right, that kid would not have gotten that far. It wouldn't have happened. He might not have even tried to make it happen. He would have picked a softer target, right? Because that's what cowards do. They pick soft targets. Unarmed children, sitting in a classroom. Or like, for example, in Australia, the guy, the mosque shooter guy, goes into a mosque and shoots 50 people bowing in prayer. What a fucking coward. What a sick fucking animal does that. A sick animal does that. So she's dead. Belle's mom was frantically searching for her daughter. Oh my God, what a tragedy, right? What a tragedy. You're at the receiving part of the, after all the kids come running out of the school after a shooting, and all the kids are there, but your kid who went to school in the morning is not there. How tragic, how entirely, oh my God, the trauma of losing your child for some sick ass kid that had to shoot people, right? What a fucking tragedy, right? Really. Here's some images of the cops. Yeah. You show up. That's where we live now. That's where we live. Some psychopath is shooting at me, and I got to go and find a phone and call these guys to come and shoot at him, right? Because less guns in America is better, right? Gun violence. No, there is gun violence, and I'm going to use a gun to stop it. Does violence beget violence? Shooting someone who's about to kill you is not violent. Shooting someone who's about to kill you is defending yourself and stopping an animal, an attacking animal, preserving life, right? Shooting the wild animal who's attacking you is a preservation of life. That's not violent. I don't care if a bullet flies through his fucking heart or his brain. You have to stop the attack. Right? Period. I don't give a shit what the holier than thou Buddhists would say sitting on their cushion. Right? Yeah, let's block the bullets with our flesh. The flesh is no, man, life is precious. Life is precious. Animal comes flying through the door with a long gun, shooting his way into a school. You take out equal but opposite energy and blast him into the ground. That's my take on it. So here they are. I mentioned that the school appears to be predominantly black. I didn't just say that. I'm basing it on the photo. I see a lot of black and brown and a lot of afros. I don't know, just pointing it out, right? Why not? Why not point it out? I wanted to look at the time frame. The time frame was fascinating. Let's listen to the time frame. It's a nightmare. This is the mother's statement, and then we'll find it. This is heartbreaking, right? Alexandra was my everything. She was joyful, wonderful, and just a great person. He told the station. I guess this is the father. It's a father. She was the girl I loved to see and loved to hear from. No matter how I felt, I could always talk to her, and it was all right. That was my baby. Right? Some animal comes into a school and takes your baby. Right? Defend yourself, America. Defend yourself. So Williams heard gunfire. Yeah. More pictures. Cops. Fat cop needs to go on a diet. FBI. Oh yeah. We trust you. Crime. Yeah. So I believe this is the probably the door the police entered, shooting up the fucking door, blowing holes in the door. Kids running away. Children hugging each other. And look at the time frame. Here we go. At another press conference Monday evening, Sachs said there was a report of an active shooter at the high school at 9:11 a.m. 9:11 a.m., with officers then arriving at the school at 9:15. You know, quick. But if you know there's an active shooter at 9/11, if you have a gun by 9/11 and a half, you're already engaging the shooter, right? Look, I would trust a bunch of high school kids with guns before having to wait for police to arrive. What's wrong with a fucking smart 16-year-old kid with great eyes, great shooting skill, right? 17. Who's a better shot than a young 17-year-old kid? Right? Arm a few of them. Why don't you have why don't you have, like, you remember classroom monitors? Why don't you get a few kids in each high school who train with weapons? Train them. Train 5 of your best kids to be armed and defend the other children. Why not? Why not? I would love that. Look, if a shooter comes in and I know there's 5 kids in the room that got weapons, I'm fucking ducking behind those kids and saying, shoot him, man. I left my gun home. But nonetheless, 9/11, and you can kick the conspiracy theory. Why did it happen in 9/11? Right. Suspect was able to get through the school's locked doors, enter the building with a long gun around 9:10. So the shooter's coming in at 9:10. By 9/11, 1 minute later, he's being reported as being a shooter. It is a suspicious time frame, right? Why that hour? Police began engaging the suspect at 9:23, and by 9:25 they had him down. But anyway, man, just do what you will with it. It is 9/11. It is a sketchy number. If you're not familiar with 9/11, that's when the dirty Arabs knocked down our buildings. Beautiful dog, man. Who's going to take care of the dog? Who's going to take care of the dog? So there's more imagery. Kids running away from schools. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy time we live in, man. So more children running out to school. Wow. Yeah. So, rip teacher, white teacher in a black school. I'll point it out. White kid hugging another white. How come you don't go hug a black? Don't Black Lives Matter? You imagine the racism that these kids deal with in school, right? The white kid's not allowed to say that he has to bow to the black because he has privilege. Remember the horror of all this crap? Why would you send your kids to something like that, man? Homeschool them, man. Homeschool your kids. It's a better idea. Yeah, but I can't, man, because how am I going to make a living? Bring your fucking kid with you to work. If you can't accommodate, then get another job. Do something where you can accommodate your life. Right? Stop conforming to societal fucking norms and be your own person already. So let's look at the market. The market is open, and whoa, we're up. Nice. Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 61. NASDAQ up 148. Pow, percentage and a half. All right, so here's the headline. I don't know why it's roaring, but this is what I suspect. So this week, we'll get 3 Q3 earnings announcements from some big names, including Microsoft, Google, Meta, which is Facebook, Apple, and Amazon. Ooh, the 4 big wigs. 1, 2, 3, 5 big wigs reporting Q3. Now, if any one of them or all of them beat earnings, the markets will scream up. That's just the reality, right? So for their investors' sake, the companies will hopefully report some great results. Hey, listen, Google, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, and Amazon, we will not frown on you if you fudge the numbers. Just report good numbers. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking. You report good numbers, Wall Street buys, the market goes up. That's how it works, right? You can, in 2 or 3 years, you can confess that you fudged the numbers. But right now, we're having some problems here with inflation and such, and crashing markets, and and such. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's look at how everything is doing this morning. The Apple is up $1.28 per share. Amazon up $1. Google up 90 cents. Meta, Facebook up $5. Microsoft up 80 cents. Rivian up 2.5. Tesla up 5. Walmart down 50 cents. Nvidia up 4. That was the famously Pelosi's husband bought. He was long calls on Nvidia. What else? Let's look at the war stocks. Lockheed Martin up 2.5. The military-industrial complex, Raytheon, down $1.50. Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, the makers of the holy vaccine, mixed. Johnson & Johnson down 186. Moderna up $3.72. Pfizer down 37 cents. Netflix growing some wings, up 10. Snapchat in the toilet at $8 a share. Twitter holding steady at 52. The great Elon Musk is prepared to take it over. I believe he's paying $54 a share. So that's about where it's supposed to be. So big news on Wall Street right now is Q3 earnings, and we're gonna watch that closely and see if based on let's look at the NASDAQ chart. It looks like we could be coming off the bottom. It is possible. I haven't been following it because it was giving me a little indigestion. I was wrong here. I thought that the bottom was in, and see what happened. It collapsed again. It broke through the 200-day moving average, and right now it's racing again towards it, and hopefully it'll break out of the purple line, which is the 50-day moving average, and continue to go up. So quite possibly that is the, some market geniuses are now saying that the bottom is in. So again, I still believe it's a close your eyes and buy moment. I think in 5 years we'll be up here somewhere. NASDAQ 20,000, NASDAQ 25,000. So it's still, historically that's where it goes. You see how when it hits the green line, right? This time it collapsed under the green line, and but there's no guarantee that the bottom is in. But it does look pretty promising at this point. So 1,000, NASDAQ 20. So thank you all for joining me. My name is Marcus Conti. I am a guy who makes videos here on YouTube. Thank you everybody in the chat. Thank you for not being a dickhead in the chat. And we're doing good, man. We're doing good. Thank you, Cheeseburger, Chris Milk, Cassville, Camden, Jeremy Shrine, Margie O, Weevil Girl, Vinny D. Martini, Chris Milk. Everybody is here. And Christendom Defender. And if I didn't call your name out, then don't take it personal, man. Everybody's so fucking so touchy, so personal, right? I don't have time to read all this shit, man. You know what I mean? I'm just because I'm very important. That's why I don't have time, man. I got to do what I got to do. Put Granny Cat back up. Granny Cat. Oh, there you are, Granny Cat. Granny Cat.